Today's episode is brought to you by the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. This is the hardest poker challenge you will ever take, but I guarantee it's absolutely worth it. Go to smartpokerstudy.com/75hard. That's the number 7, the number 5, hard to sign up for the challenge. I'll give you all the details on the 5 things that you're going to do day in and day out for 75 days straight to turn yourself into the player that you want to be, the studier that you want to be, and to have you working on your game more than 99% of your opponents. So again, go to smartpokerstudy.com/75hard to join. Good day, my name is Sky, and I appreciate you spending some study time with me. I'm here to help you make money in online poker by teaching you key strategies and getting you to take action. Are you up for the hardest poker challenge ever? My guess is that 95% of players who take me up on this challenge will ultimately fail in the end. It's 75 days. If you do these actions for 75 days, you will turn yourself into a much stronger player, and you'll be doing more than 99% of your opponents. Let's get to the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. Gambate!
I challenge you. Now, Wheels, learn who's the best.
So this is the hardest poker challenge you will ever take. It's called the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. And you can take the challenge by going to smartpokerstudy.com/75hard. I'll send you a nice PDF or even an Excel tracker and some emails to help motivate you on your 75-day journey. But this was inspired by the 75 Hard Challenge created by Andy Frisella. Now, I did this challenge for myself starting January 1st this year, so I just finished it as of yesterday, March 16th. I'm recording this March 17th, Monday. It's going to be released Tuesday, March 18th, so I just completed the challenge. Here was the challenge. Every single day, day in, day out, one 45-minute workout, another 45-minute workout, but that must be completed outside. During the whole 75 days, no alcohol and no cheat meals. You have to follow a diet, your choice of diets, but it has to be a healthy diet. You can't say I'm going to follow the donut diet. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day. You have to take a picture of yourself every single day and drink a full gallon of water. And let me tell you, I did that. I drank a gallon. Here's my gallon. As soon as I finish recording this episode, I'm going to toss this bad boy in the blue bin. Never have to look at it again. Until I do another 75 Hard Challenge, that is. So what I've done, because I loved this challenge, I am so much stronger because I'm doing 2 workouts per day, so much more flexible because my morning workout is a mobility routine where I'm doing like calisthenics and stretching and working on my joints and stuff. I read The One Thing 2 times. I read The Constitution, nonfiction books, right? I read another book called The YouTube Formula. 10 pages a day, you can get a ton of reading done in 75 days, right? Following a diet, I lost 13 pounds. I was at 179 on January 1st. Yesterday, when I weighed myself, 167.6. So almost 13 full pounds down. And of course, because my afternoon workouts are like strength training, kettlebells and stuff, I'm much stronger as well. Put on some muscle, lost some fat, loving this challenge. But I figured this was great for my lifestyle. And the reason why I took on this challenge was because I wanted to lose weight and just get healthier. You could see these aspects of the challenge are going to make you, assuming you do them for the full 75 days, it's going to make you a healthier person. But what I wasn't prepared for was the mental challenges, the mental toughness, and the habits that I developed. So I'm done with the 75 days, but I guarantee I'm going to continue doing both of these every single day. I'm going to continue following my diet, and I'm going to continue reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day. I absolutely love this. So these habits, by doing them every day, I think they've been ingrained into my life as just new lifestyle, new modalities for me to approach life and my day-to-day. But I've taken the 75 Hard Challenge and now adapted it for poker. The first right here, 90 minutes of workouts every day. What I want you to do is to dedicate 90 minutes every single day to poker. It's up to you how you split it up, 30 minutes here, 60 minutes here, all 90 at a stretch. But the key about this is there's got to be a minimum, at least 10 minutes of study and at least 30 minutes of play. So you can study 10, play 80, or go further if you want to go beyond the 90 minutes, no problem. Or play 30 and study 60, but a minimum of 90 minutes every single day. Number 2, no distractions while playing or while studying. We'll dive into that further in a little bit. Number 2, study one thing, a course, a book, or software until you complete that thing. And we'll dive into each of these further because I know you're thinking to yourself, oh, one thing only. How do I do that for 75 days? Number 3, read 5 poker pages in a book or watch 10 minutes of poker in a course on YouTube, whatever it might be. Number 4, take notes in your poker journal. Instead of taking a picture, you're taking notes. That's a key thing. A lot of us do our studies and we don't take notes. We just watch a video, we read a chapter, no notes taken, and then we go about our day. Number 5 here, exercise for 30 minutes because a strong body is a strong mind. Now, here is what makes this challenge extremely tough. First off, we have 5 really important critical tasks for you to do every single day. It's also 75 days long, right? So those 2 aspects are pretty tough. But here's the thing. If you fail any item on any day, you have failed the challenge and you must start over from the beginning. So there's no on day 30, oops, I forgot to read 5 pages or watch 10 minutes. All I did was play poker for 90 minutes. That does not count. You failed the challenge. You have to start back over on day 1. Now, there's no substitutions. When you take on this challenge, you're dedicated to doing these things. No substituting, maybe, for example, taking notes in your journal. There's no substitution for that, writing it just on a sticky note. You have to have your journal open, whether it's like a physical kind of journal or it's a Word document or something in Evernote. You're physically taking those notes. You're exercising for 30 minutes. Doing yard work isn't exercising. You're actively going on a walk for 30 minutes, lifting weights, going to the gym, running on a treadmill. No substitutions. And this is what makes the challenge super difficult. No cheat days either. You can't say, it's Saturday, I'm going to go to the lake with my friends. No. Well, you can go to the lake with your friends, but you've got to complete all of this before or after your friendly lake time. So let's talk about why I think you should do this challenge and why I'm going to do this entire challenge starting tomorrow for myself. First off here, it's going to toughen your mind. Doing these all poker-related things every single day for 75 days in a row is going to make you more disciplined, and it's going to develop some key habits, things that's going to improve your overall poker results and your poker thinking mind, help you make better reads and better exploits in game. Now, Andy Frisella, for the original 75 Hard Challenge, he had this quote at the very top of the challenge page. Think of this as an Iron Man for your brain. When I read that the first time, I didn't care about it. I didn't do the challenge to strengthen my brain at all. That was the furthest thing. I didn't even think about that. It wasn't even a consideration. All I wanted was the workouts and eat healthy and no alcohol. Like I wanted to lose weight and put on muscle. That was it. But what I found in the end is that this does toughen your mind. I'm able to get so much more done on a daily basis because I'm strengthening my body and avoiding things that I should be avoiding, like unhealthy food or alcohol, of course. And doing this day in and day out, like sticking to a schedule, sticking to a routine, marking these things off as you do them, or for you guys, the poker challenge over here, it is going to toughen your mind. You're going to be so much more thankful. Besides the poker skill development that I guarantee you will see, you're going to love the mental game aspects. Also, over 75 days, you're going to build great habits. If you know, I've talked about the one thing before. In the one thing, they talk about habit building, and there was a study conducted back in the 90s where they found on average it takes anybody 66 days to build a habit into your life. Building a habit into your life, actually, it happens when you do a certain task all the time, and it's so much more easier to do the task than it is difficult to do the task. There's like an inflection point right there. When the task suddenly becomes super easy to do and it's a no-brainer and you actually look forward to it every day, boom, you've developed your habit. Well, doing this stuff for 75 minutes a day, yes, I have developed a habit for all of these things. It's going to be easier to continue them into the future. And take a look at the list here. If you can have all of these as a daily habit, something that you enjoy doing, something that's easy for you to do, it's easy for you to put in your daily schedule, your poker level is going to be way up here, whereas maybe you're down here. Lastly here, you are for 75 days, you're going to be working way harder than all of your opponents. And actually, in the one thing, they discussed how Michael Phelps, when he was a kid and just growing up through swimming, he's the winningest Olympic athlete ever in swimming, more medals than anybody else. He decided everybody else was taking Sundays off so they would work out 6 days a week. He said, screw that. I'm going to work out Sundays as well. I'm going to work out 7 days a week. That's going to give me 52 more workout sessions, more than all of my opponents. I'm going to be better than them because I'm working harder. The same thing will apply to you versus your opponents. Now, let me give you some top tips for success with the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. Tip number 1 here is to time block poker into your daily schedule and your exercise time. And that's going to make it more likely that you'll actually get it done. If you set aside 2 hours every single morning to do these things before you go to work, you're going to get it done. If you set aside 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. after work, after hanging out with the family to do these things, you're going to get it done. But if you start your day and not knowing when you're going to get things done, you're less likely to get them done, more likely to fail. Alex Hormozy, successful entrepreneur, said, "It's not your 9 to 5 that kills your progress. It's your 5 to 9. So a lot of people will look at this challenge right here and they'll say, man, I can't do this. I don't have 90 minutes plus another 30. I don't have 2 hours to dedicate to poker and exercise every day. That's impossible. I got a 9 to 5 and I got a family. Well, if that's your attitude, sure, you're not going to be able to find the time. But if you actually have a different attitude, if you decide I'm going to spend my 5 to 9 wisely so I can improve my poker skills, at the same time, improve my health a bit, I'm going to be doing myself and my family a world of good by taking on this challenge. Next up, if you think about number 1 specifically, 90 minutes of poker, you got to say poker time is poker time. No distractions at all. That's why this is 1A, no distractions while playing or while studying. Your phone is on Do Not Disturb. The web pages are closed. The TV's turned off, and hide those desktop items. That's something I love to do. It really helps me to focus. Like, you can even look at the bottom of the screen. I got my taskbar hidden while I'm recording. I don't want it there to potentially distract me, right? Next up, those minimums, 10 minutes of study and 30 minutes of play every single day. Every day you have to study and you have to play. Now, 1A, we are human, right? No distractions while playing or studying. We're human. If you catch yourself distracted, refocus and get back to it. You could be playing, you got 2 tables open right now, and all of a sudden you think about, oh, wow, dinner tonight. I got to cook dinner. I got to pull out the chicken. Yeah, to get it defrosted before dinner comes up tonight. And then you start to leave your computer. Wait a second, hold on. I got to keep playing. Let me write a note for myself, pull out the chicken. So as soon as your 90 minutes are over, you can go pull out that chicken. So we're human. We are going to get distracted. Our minds wander all the time, even if we're trying to be focused on something. As long as you pull yourself away from that distraction and get back to poker, you're good to go. That's not a failure right there, right? Next up, number 2, choose one thing you know will propel you on your journey. Maybe you know you have a lot of mental game issues, right? So you think the one thing that you want to study for the entire 75 is the mental game of poker. I shouldn't say for the entire 75. One thing that you know you want to focus on is the Mental Game of Poker book by Jared Tendler. That's great. Go ahead and get started on it. Read it from start to finish and put everything that he teaches you into action as you're playing. That's going to take you that's choosing one thing and sticking with it until the end. And here's an interesting idea. Let's imagine you read. So if we take a look in the table of contents, chapter 6 is on fear, page 155. Let's imagine you start reading on page 155, you get all the way to page 180, the end of the chapter, and the next page 181 is on motivation. And you think to yourself, well, I'm super motivated right now. I'm doing the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. I don't need to get any more motivation, but I still have fear in here. Fear of losing money, fear of making 3 bets, fear of my bluffs failing. So what you should do is go ahead, go back to the start, page 155, and start reading it again. 5 pages of reading every day. It's absolutely fine how you spend your time reading. I'm not saying you have to read 5 pages and the next 5, and the next 5, and the next 5 until you're done, right? No. You treat it how you want, but as long as you're focused on this one thing, because the whole idea, focus stands for follow one course until success. If you read 5 pages of The Mental Game today, 5 pages of one of my books, 5 pages of an Alex Fitzgerald book, the next day watch 10 minutes of video, the day after that, your mind is bouncing along all these different, between these different coaches and potentially these different full topics of study. Don't do that. Stick with one thing at a time. Now, once you finish it, once you get through the whole book, pick up another book or maybe open up that course that you have failed to complete. Go back and start working on that to complete it. Number 3, study and restudy as necessary. Like I said, if you need more work on fear, go back to page 1 and keep studying again, right? Number 4, use your poker journal with and date each entry. So you're taking notes in your poker journal. Now, here's an interesting thing. When I say date each entry, let's imagine it's March 20th right now. You read pages 155 through 159, 5 pages in this book right here. But you feel that you need to work on that a little bit more. You need to grasp it a little bit more. The very next day, do it again. Read those 5 pages again and just make a date entry. Oh, March 20th through the 21st. You read those 5 pages. Add to your notes as you're going. How you approach everything within this challenge is up to you, but you just have to do these 5 things day in and day out for 75 days. And then next, number 5, basic idea, a strong body is a strong mind. At a minimum, go for a 30-minute walk. Do some exercise that day. Now it's time for you to take action. Step number 1, like the video if you like the video, and directly below it, leave a comment with your challenge start date and your one thing. What are you going to study, at least for the beginning of the challenge? I want to know what that is. And then subscribe to the channel for more. And then, of course, step 2 is take on the 75 Hard Poker Challenge. Go to smartpokerstudy.com/75hard. Sign up right there. You can download the tracker, and let me show you actually what that tracker looks like here. When you download it, this is the Excel. There's also a printable PDF one. You change the date right here to whatever date 0 is. That'll change your day 1 date. The weekday, the day of the week, will just pop up automatically. There's a formula there. You print this bad boy up in 2 pages and just check off each item as you go. The goal, of course, is to make a check on every single day, not missing any checks, so you do not fail and you don't have to start over from the beginning. Then, of course, plan your 75 days. What are you going to study for the first 30 days, for the next 45 days, whatever the case is. Also, plan out maybe every Monday through Friday looks the exact same. Before work from 5:30 to 7 is your hour and a half of poker time. After work for 30 minutes. Maybe after work at 8 o'clock, boom, 2 full hours, 90 minutes of poker, 30 minutes of exercise. Completely up to you, but I highly recommend to plan out your schedule. Plan your Saturdays and Sundays as well. And then, of course, get to work. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.